Hello, everyone. This is Calmzy. I'm back with another Calmzy music podcast. I know it's been a little while, but I have a lot to talk about for this one. And starting with that, I'll talk about my new rebrand. I've recently changed my name from Calmzy over to King Calmzy. I wanted something more dramatic and something that fits my new music name, or new music in general. So it's going to be a lot leading up to a lot. So for starters, I needed something that really represented this next transition to where I'm going. So first off, I've been mainly focusing on moving away from this old style of rap with a lot of sampled beats and everything like that. And recently I've taken off a lot of music off of all platforms. And I think this is the first thing we really need to jump into, because there's a lot of people wondering where this old music went to. So for starters, let me pull up the list of all the music that's been taken off and all the music that's moving over to my archive. But yes, I had changed my name from Calmzy over to King Calmzy. For anyone that's really confused, I had like over 1,000 monthly listeners consistently over the last year, peaked at 5,000, and now I'm restarting at 0. So it's a big change, but I'm very content with it. And this is going to lead up to my next album, which I'll talk about later, which is going to probably be called Who Wears the Crown. So this is going to be leading up to that for more meaningful music. And I think this is going to be really a great direction to head into. But I'll pull up all the songs that have been taken off, starting with some of my bigger ones, like Japanese Stripes, that has 5,000 on Spotify, or did before I took it off. And it has a lot on SoundCloud. That's its main place. I'm not touching any of the music on SoundCloud, none of the music on YouTube. So if you still want to listen to it, it's there. It's not going to be on all platforms like Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, iTunes. It's not going to be on any of those. I took down What's New Scooby-Doo, which also had 5,000. It's still on the other places, like I said. I'm just not trying to get sued for either of those in the future if I get bigger, and they don't really represent the music I'm trying to create, or it's not anything I want to show anyone. The next one's Left on Red. I actually really like this song. If you don't know the backstory, it's a diss track at my friend Reddist, who does Twitch streaming, wants to be a musician. He's in Mount Goose and does a lot of music on the band there. He's a really great guy. There's no hate towards him with the diss track. I thought it was just funny, and it actually went unironically kind of hard. I really like the song, but it's mostly sample, so the song had like a minute-long intro sample. It had to be taken down. I just don't think it's right. There's still actually a sped-up version on my alt, which I don't want to go through the trouble of taking down, because it's kind of in an album format, so I'd have to take down everything and then re-upload everything, and it's just not worth it. So I'm just going to leave it up there. I don't really care. If I get like a warning saying someone wants me to take it down, just take down the whole album. Who cares? It's on my extras. I don't really care. And if you don't know, I have 3 places where I really upload music, which is King Calmzy now. It's Calmzy Extras, which I'm not going to change the name. I still like it. And Calmzy Archive. Calmzy Extras is kind of where I upload music that's never been posted before, just something that doesn't really fit my main music account, but still like it and want people to listen to. And Calmzy Archive is old music that I still kind of like, but don't want on my main account, if that makes sense. And so I just kind of drop it there, and it has a lot of old stuff that doesn't really represent me anymore, but people still like, so I kind of put it up there. King Calmzy's mainly for my main stuff. There's still some songs transferring over. I have 5 songs from there still transferring over. I'm not sure why. It's only a Spotify thing, but everywhere else it's already hit. Starting with my biggest song, Eric Cartman, just hit 72,000, almost 73,000, not transferred over yet, so I'm trying to get that figured out. Both Ruby tracks, Crucifixion, Golden State Warriors, and Deal with Satan, none of those have moved over yet, so I'm still waiting on that. But everywhere else it's already hit, so I don't know. But the next song I dropped, like from all plats, not out anywhere except SoundCloud and YouTube, is the whole Complex DEP. Actually, this one's not on SoundCloud, but I am working on putting it out still on all plats because it's still good. I just felt like people weren't really listening, and it's not something I really messed with, so it's just gonna kind of find its way back out, just not on my main account. Maybe Stomplexity will drop it everywhere. We'll see. Villain found its way off. It's just mainly sample, and I didn't really like the lyrics that much, so it found its way off. Bloom found its way off. I really like the cover art for this. Shout out, I think it's Hannah A. Dez on Instagram, who made me the cover art for this and most of my cover arts. So I really did like the song. It's mostly sample though, and it's really old. It was my first song on all plats, so I just kind of took it down. It doesn't really represent me anymore. So my first song now on all plats is Air Carbon, which I feel like is a good start anyways, but people are going to think I fell off. And the songs that hit the archive, dropped off my main account, is Backroads with Dior Levi. So, I really like that song, but I feel like it wasn't my best work, so I moved it over to the archive. Next with A.204. I'm actually not really sure what name he goes by. It's been a lot. It's been Young Armand, I Love You, and it's now A.204, I think. I just have it as A.204. It hit the archive, so anyone can listen there. This is a really good transition song to my second sound, which is funk, and I still think it's good, but it's not my best work, so I moved it down. And What the Dog Doing, I never really wanted this to be on my main account because it's kind of goofy, but it's still a lot of fun making it with all my friends. There's like 10 people on this song, maybe 12, I don't know, but it still goes kind of hard. People really like it, so I moved it down into the archive. There's no sample. The beat was made by my friend Crayon Kid. Check him out. We have a lot of music together, as is. So yeah, it's completely ours. I just moved it down because it doesn't really fit me. So yeah, moving on from that, that's all the music that's not longer on my main account, which is King Calmzy now. And I keep saying it, but just a reminder there. And I'll move on to the next topic, which is going to be this Kendrick versus Drake beef. I feel like this is the perfect time to talk about it. It's the biggest thing in music for the last month, 2 months, whether you listen to hip hop or not. It's there, and it's the biggest thing. So I'll go over that, and I'll talk about everything involved. I'm not really sure how this started. Apparently Drake was sneak dissing. I couldn't really find a song where he was sneak dissing. Maybe it was just a long time coming thing, which I think it is. And they have songs together. Drake and Kendrick have a song together, and I'll try to find it here, as I have Spotify up right now. And he didn't take it down, I think, just to spite him. I think Drake tried to get him to take it down. Yeah, they have a song called Poetic Justice. I listened to it. It was pretty solid. It's pretty old. I don't remember when it came out. I'm going to check now, I think it was like 2013, I don't know. But it's pretty old. So yeah, they made songs. I guess Drake sneak dissed him at some point and started like this split down the middle of where artists stand on either side, because a lot of artists mess with Drake and they don't want to kind of piss him off. Like 21 Savage, he's on the side of Metro Boomin, but he also fucks with Drake, so there's a lot of like gray area in that. But I'll kind of go over where this beef kind of started if you're unfamiliar. I kind of made a playlist to know where I am with this beef and like the songs that dropped. I just gotta find it. I made a lot of playlists. But it kind of started with Like That on Future and Metro Boomin's album We Don't Trust You, which I think is a shot at Drake, as they also made We Still Don't Trust You. But the song is Future's, it's not Kendrick's. But I think he's kind of dissing Drake on this, because Drake has a song called Started From the Bottom, and he's kind of calling him out, saying you're not really like that, you didn't come from the bottom, you're an industry plant. If you don't know what industry plant is, it's kind of someone who claims they're from like the bottom and the rough, but they're not really. They have all this money. They're supported and backed by the industry, and that's kind of where they've always been. So they're trying to kind of connect to the people who are at the bottom, but they didn't come from there, so they can't empathize with it. And then all of a sudden, on this beat, like Future kind of has like a slower part. I really like it, but it's not as aggressive as when Kendrick comes and just coming out. And the lyrics on it are incredible. Like he kind of compared himself to like Prince and Michael Jackson, and it just, they kind of keep going back and forth on that bar. And he calls out first person shooter, which Drake and J. Cole are on, or Drake has J. Cole on, sorry. And he says first person shooter, you should have bought 3 switches. And he also says something like dog cemetery, like calling out like what's a K to all these 9s. You're gonna see Pet Cemetery, like he's calling out the whole album that Drake dropped for all the dogs. So J. Cole was kind of the first person to take offense to this, because obviously I don't think J. Cole had like any part in this beef to begin with, but he did kind of say like fuck the big 3, because J. Cole called himself, Drake, and Kendrick the big 3 on first person shooter. And Kendrick clapped back saying it's not the big 3, it's really just me. I'm sure everyone's heard that already. But so J. Cole took offense to this, and he dropped a whole album, and most of it he's dissing Kendrick. But the big song he dissed Kendrick in this album called Might Delete Later, he dropped a song called 7 Minute Troll, where it's a direct diss track at Kendrick. And honestly, I don't mess with some of the things on this album, Might Delete Later. For instance, I didn't really like the song Pie, which had Absol on it. I like Absol, but he kind of was transphobic at one point on the track towards Kendrick Lamar, who rapped about his uncle who transitioned into an ant, I think. I'm not really sure. I didn't really listen to that much, but it's still kind of distasteful, I feel like, for a diss track, and had no place being there. But he had this song called 7 Minute Drill. It was really good. I liked it. It was kind of slow, but people considered it more of a warning shot at what could have been. But he later deleted it when he wrapped the beef up with Kendrick. I think Kendrick kind of sent one of his friends and told him, you should kind of step out of this beef because it's not targeted at you. So J. Cole backed off from the beef. And Drake then dropped a song called Push Ups, which he leaked himself. It kind of sounds like an AI made it, but I don't think an AI made it. Maybe the AI made the lyrics, because Drake has like ghostwriters. AI just makes it easier. And I actually really like Push Ups. People can hate on it, but the disses are a little soft. Like he's roasting like his shoe size, because Kendrick calls himself a big step now. But I do really like Push Ups. When it dropped, I thought it was one of the best songs, like best rap songs of the year. People don't really mess with it, but I thought it was good. I love the part where he told Metro to just go back and make some drums, because he doesn't really rap. He's not part of the beef. But I thought it was good. And Metro kind of stayed quiet since then, I feel like minus the calls he makes on Twitter, which is funny. But Kendrick clapped back at this with his song Euphoria, which I felt was kind of slow. It was 7 minutes long. There are some really good parts about this, but the first part, he just kind of sounds like he's crying almost. But the song's still overall really good. I like it. It's on my playlist. I think the next part, Kendrick dropped another song, Meet the Grams, which he's basically talking directly to his son Adonis, telling him how bad and shitty of a father that Drake is to him. And Drake clapped back with Family Matters. Personally, for Meet the Grams, though, I feel like it's really slow. It's a good song to listen to by yourself, but if you have friends, it's not really going to be like hype or high energy. So I just can't really fit it in my playlist much places, but it's still good. The lyrics are crazy on it. And Drake clapped back with Family Matters. Some people feel like this is the best song in the beef. I don't really see it. I thought Push Ups was better than Family Matters, but some of the lyrics are good. It's pretty solid. But Kendrick clapped back with Not Like Us, and I feel like that's probably buried this. Like whatever stance Drake had on this, it's just way too good. This is the best song of, like, the best rap song of maybe the last decade, or at least like minimal to hear. This song is insane, and Drake has not responded yet. I've heard he moved out of the country, sold all of his houses. Like, he's from Canada, but he sold all of his houses in America, and he moved his family to France. Like, that's how bad this was. And one of Drake's security guards got shot. I heard it's not, and killed. I heard it's not between this beef, but actually with The Weeknd, which is crazy, because if you told me in 2016 that Drake and The Weeknd were going to be shooting at each other, two radio pop artists, I would not have believed you. So yeah, I heard the beef is between The Weeknd and Drake. I'm not sure how far that investigation got, but that's what happened. I like all the songs that came out of this, but I'm going to side with Kendrick on this. You can't really... It's kind of hard to side with Drake after he got called a pedophile. And Drake just basically got buried with Not Like Us. The song's just way too good. There's no coming back from that. I feel like he's going to try to leak something again. It's just not going to happen. You can't come back from that. Everyone's messing with Not Like Us. And the numbers just show it too. He like tripled any of Drake's songs that came out of this in numbers. But moving on from there, I'm just going to talk about a few things. I have a few things today to talk about. And next I'll kind of talk about the album that I'm dropping, probably coming in fall. I already recorded a few songs from it, and they're finished up. I posted them on SoundCloud. If you want to listen, they might be taken down soon before the album drops. I just need some feedback on it. So if you want to give feedback, it can be hard, can be a compliment, anything, just leave it there, and I might rework it based on the feedback I get. But yeah, so it's going to be my first kind of fully coherent album. I have two albums before that dropped in 2023 last year. I dropped Everyday Daydream. That's my favorite album I think I've dropped. It's not super coherent in storytelling, but it's still like really solid, and it had my old sound on there, just still kind of somewhat my new sound. I can go down the tracks on it. There's no like super story behind it, but the energy went from kind of like aesthetic rap, which is kind of dying out, to a more energetic hard funk style, like more like dark trap. So I think it's good. Definitely worth like a full listen through, I think, the song. So I'll kind of give an overview on the album, the Everyday Daydream, of each song. And the first song was Daydream. I feel like this is a really good opening track, especially since it goes with the title. It was kind of more of a funk song, like Freddie Dredd style. And it did go really hard. It was kind of, like, some people thought it was kind of basic sounding, but I think it's still good to have on there, and it was good for the time when I recorded it. I still like listening to it. So it was a good opener for this whole album. Second one was Legend Has It. It's one of my favorite ones. Made it with 2 Minty. At the time, his name was Lil Minty. But he's a big staple in the kind of scene I'm in. And it was an aesthetic rap song, like One and Only does. And we both killed that one. I really liked that one. The next one that came out was Been Through It on there. This one was pretty solid. It was more of a like came up story, like how I came from like kind of this bottom and some of my experiences that I came from there. That was another aesthetic rap song. The next one I really had fun making. It's not the best song on here, I'll admit, but it's my favorite, or one of my favorites. It's called Alone. I made it with my friends in real life, Peebo and Crayon Kid. Definitely check them out. This one was really good. We had a lot of fun ideas in this. The lyrics were really good. It was kind of like this energetic funk on the first half, and then the beat switches to like the sad, slower part where we rap more about like the same kind of like come up, and it was really good. I liked it. And then the next one was the interlude. It was City Boy. This is unironically the best song on the album. In the interlude, it's only a minute long. It's really good. So a minute, like, come on, give it a listen if you can. It's really good. And this is a lot of people's favorite on the album. And I really liked it. The flows are crazy on there. It's definitely worth the listen. It has a lot of plays compared to some other songs. The next one was also one of the best on the album, Wanna Be Him. It was more energetic. it doesn't really like have like a set genre. I feel like it was more of like a Detroit rap, but it wasn't sampled, but it's still like close to it. It's good. Something About It, which I made with Sam. It's the last song I made with Sam. It's really good. It's also one of the best. I think all the songs on here are solid. It's more of like this like slower, like not like boom bap, but kind of close to it. It's good. I had him do the hook on it, so it turned out really good. We always make a good song. The next one was Bonsai with Calmz. The last song I made with Calmz too, because he's been kind of rocketing upwards a little bit recently. He kind of carried me on this like heavily, but our flows were crazy on this. I thought it was really good. The next one was Silver Lining. This was my original favorite on there because the lyrics are really good. It's very hard and dark sounding, but the lyrics are very solid. And that's kind of the last song, but then there's a bonus I threw on here, Tags in Trouble. This one was based off of my brother, how, I'm not going to go too far into it, how I was selling tags, like I'm talking like gamer tags, Instagram handles, and it kind of got him into a little bit of trouble. So, you know, I made a fun song out of it, real experience. I really like this song, so it definitely should be on here. And I'll kind of talk about the next album I dropped next. So I ended up dropping that one at some point in July in 2023. It was in the works for a little while, like almost half a year before that, maybe like a third of the year, I don't know. But I did drop another track or another album after that, and I'll go through that one next. I'm just going on to my discography now. Yeah, so the next album I dropped, I worked from that point on like July 1st all the way up until when this dropped, which is in like December 8th, I think, of the same year. And I dropped a shorter album, less coherent than the last, but it's still really good. It deserves another listen through. I thought this one was really good. I dropped Accomplished and Counting, which had 8 songs on it. Originally 9, but I took one off, which is What the Dog Doing Sped Up. Or not What the Dog Doing, but you know what I'm talking about. What's New Scooby-Doo? Because of that sample issue, but it had a lot of plays on it, so you know I'm fine without it. I don't need to sped up song on there. But the songs I have on there, the first one was Capybara. So actually, let me start with the kind of theme of this album was like a lot of my old themes, because a lot of people like my 2021 sound with like Eric Cartman. I wanted old themes with a new style. So I wanted like these silly sounding themes to draw people in, but have like a really serious sounding style. So I had, first song was called Capybara, which is like a collaboration I did with another producer called Sharev Beats, or I'll Run Sharev. And he sent me this beat over, and I did this on it. It's kind of about capybaras, but it's more like a metaphor. You'll just have to listen to it and understand. It's very like an uplifting song, upbeat. I like it a lot. It's like if a Christian rap was done without the Christianity. The next song though I had on there was Doomsday. This is another like collab I had with a producer, my friend Blue Bunny, who's also known as Kid Judo. He's huge everywhere. Pause. But yeah, I did this, and then I got ILY Saucy on there. He's great. You should check him out too. And I think we killed this one. This one was pure drill. That was the genre of this one, and it's good. It's pretty short, but I like it a lot. And then the next song I had on there was Burn Down. This is most people's favorite song on the whole album. It was very Detroit rap. I kind of did this song as an open for my group 101 Slugs, but they all loved it, but they ended up not recording for it, so I just finished it myself, and it turned out really well. Definitely the first song you should listen to on there, I'm not gonna lie. It's really good. And then after that, Armageddon. That's other people's favorite song on there. Over Burned Down some cases. I actually recorded a solo version for this one first, took out the part and sent it open to Mustard Gas, and he's on the song, so definitely check him out. We're definitely gonna have more music in the future on this upcoming album. he's a great guy. He's fun to work with. So shout out to him. Check it out. This song goes fucking crazy. But yeah, I also have the solo edition of it on my extras, so it's definitely worth listening to. I kind of wanted the solo version out too in case I want to do a music video for this, because it's kind of hard, making a song with someone who's in Europe and then doing a music video. Sorry, Mustard Gas. I don't think we can meet up for a music video on that. But the next song on here is Trophies and Gold, which is another producer collab with Sharef Beats. Same kind of vibe as the Capybara one, but definitely has a different actual style when you listen to it. The next one was Ultra Instinct, which is another sample beat, but this one's more low-key. Has the Dragon Ball Ultra Instinct theme song as the sample, and it just goes really hard. I think it's worth a listen. It's only a minute long, so it's not too bad. Next one was Dog in Me. I kind of used Dog in Me as a metaphor for any kind of sickness that you have in you, but you won't give up. And then the last one is just kind of a bonus almost. It was Eric Cartman Sped Up. I feel like this deserved some kind of a place in my account for how hard it went, and that's where it ended up. I dropped a few singles between now and in that album now. I just dropped on Blaze on all platforms with Juan Ketchum. This is great. We're definitely going to have another song. I sent him an open, so we're going to have that at some point soon. He's great. I'm definitely going to meet up with him at some point in the future. He lives pretty close to me. So expect that at some point. I'll make it happen, and maybe we can do a music video at some point. I feel like it'd be go hard or just record something in person. The song goes really good, so I would definitely listen to it. It's hype. People actually fuck with it right now. Yeah, just give it a listen. No, but so I'll go into the album now without further ado there that I'm dropping. I'll pull up the track list. It's kind of like a soft track list. It's not set in stone. But I think it's going to be called Who Wears the Crown. And this one's going to be a full-on story about how I came to who I am right now, but kind of more in a storytelling fashion, like a fairy tale fashion. So it's kind of like not directly saying it, more done in metaphors and this fairy tale kind of story setting. So the first song would be Prequel. It's just called Prequel. It's like an intro song, but it's not going to make people avoid it because it says intro on it. It's an actual song. It's only gonna be a minute long. I haven't recorded it yet. The next one's the first real song on there though is gonna be One Take. It's called One Take. It's boom bap. This whole vibe of this album is boom bap and lo-fi. I'm sticking to one single genre for this whole thing. And this one's gonna be a longer album. I have this one recorded actually. I did a solo version because I sent it to Lil Corey, and usually he doesn't fully finish. He doesn't really finish the songs I sent him, so this is some insurance there. I'll definitely put a song out with him. I feel like it's very long overdue for me and him to have a song together. Seeing how we came from the same scene, always had the same numbers, but we're kind of on this opposite sides of the scene, so we can kind of draw people together. I feel like it would just fit very well. It would kind of bring in that old Fatal feeling. If you don't know IDK Fatal, he came from the same kind of scene. Still in it, but has a new sound. It'd give that feeling to people, and I feel like we need a song together. But if not, I'm gonna just release it solo. The song's really good. I have it on SoundCloud. I actually really fuck with it. So if you want to listen to it, it's there. Full boom bap right there. Goes hard as fuck. I would definitely do a music video for this. I really love this song. But the next one that it leads into is, I'm thinking it's going to be called This Is Destiny. So the first kind of few songs on here are kind of almost, I'm going to use the term, I'm going to use edging. It's edging the rest of the story that's about to be created. And it's just how any story starts, just some normal guy who then gets enough motion to be where he is today. So This Is Destiny, I'm definitely, he doesn't know this yet, I definitely want to get MF Susk on it. Same with Corey. I've never had a song, or I've had one song I've been on with him, but we need a song together. We definitely do. I heavy fuck with him. I don't know if he fucks with me in the same way, pause. But I know he follows me, so we're gonna get something together. This is gonna be his thing, trust. I have not recorded anything for that, so just wait until fall when I plan on releasing this, or December. I don't know. We'll get something. Next one would be Mark My Words, and I have not recorded anything for this. This was more of a soft idea, maybe solo song, maybe someone else on it. Don't know yet. This is kind of where the journey actually kind of starts departing, and something kind of gets said to set this thing rolling. I definitely like the idea of this one, which then moves into Mastery in Motion, which I want to get Mustard Gas on this. He knows I want him on the album. He doesn't know he's going to be on this song. I thought it's going to be perfect for him. This is where the story starts rolling and we're going with it, which leads into my next one. This one I feel like is going to be set in stone. I love the name for this song. It's going to be Hip Hop Dreams, not recorded yet or anything. It's kind of like a spin-off of Basketball Dreams by Sleepy Hollow. But I'm some suburban dude, so Hip Hop Dreams is more fitting. I just feel like it's going to be good. It's not as coherent with the story, but it's definitely there right before the interlude. And the interlude, which is actually done and posted on SoundCloud, is Crossroads. It's kind of implies what it is, but it's just at a crossroads before the second half of the journey, and kind of being stuck in one place and not sure where to go. And the next song after that I'm thinking it's going to be called Gonna Be a Problem, and there's going to be a beat switch, I'm thinking, from like something lighter to harder, where the story really starts hitting heavy. Next one's going to be called See No Evil, Hear No Evil, which I have mostly recorded. There's just a few things I want to change up, and then I'll be finished. No more rapping parts, just like intro and stuff like that. Make the story more coherent. It's going to be more of an aggressive style, so just be on the lookout for that one, because I think it's pretty good. Next one's be called Calmzy's Curse. I kind of had this recorded, or like part of it, and I just wanted to restart. I wasn't really vibing with it, but it'll be here. Next one's Knocking at the Door. This is the first one I recorded. It's fully done on my part. I sent it over to Juan Ketchum, so he's doing his part on it. I originally wanted to get IDK Fatal on here, but I don't know. I don't know if he would really vibe with it or not, so I just kind of held it off. I don't even know if he wants to work with me again. But yeah, it was just kind of bad timing, because he said he was doing free features, which I think he'd give it to me free anyways, but I don't want to take other people's position there. Yeah, but I think that one's really good. The lyrics on it are pretty good. But following that is going to be Rain Havoc, which I intend to be get a beat from Blue Bunny. I already asked him, so he probably has something in the works. I don't know if he has it on the back burners for now. But I want it like the Mafia style beat, which he dropped with Jaden Rivera. So I want kind of like a part 2 for that for myself, because I really like that song. Shout out Jaden Rivera and Blue Bunny on that. We're gonna get something done to recreate something like that in my own style. And then I'm gonna finish it up with the epilogue, which is the outro. I think it's a good way to end it. I'm gonna have 2 bonus songs after that. I have one mostly recorded. It was originally supposed to be for 101 Slugs with Sam on it, and even Cowboy recorded something, but it just didn't end up working out. So I'm gonna finish it myself. It's gonna be slow motion. It's more of a lo-fi song. I really like it, so it's gonna be good as a bonus. It doesn't fit in the story, so that's where it's gonna be. And then the last bonus song is to be Yankee Boy. If you don't know, I'm from New York, so it fits me. It's a spin-off of City Boy, and I feel like it's just going to be a great way to end anything of this album. So that's kind of where I'm at there. I'm very excited for everything that's happening there. And I'm very excited for this to be like my new kind of brand for myself, and something I'm actually proud to show people. The lyrics are going to be great. The flows are going to be great. I'm spending my time making this perfect in every way I want it. So if you care at all, just check it out when it drops and be on the lookout, because I think it's going to be worth the wait for this one. But I'll get on to the next topic though. I'm not going to push this too long. So I'll get on to talking about What the Hell Sam. This guy's been with me from the start making music. We made a lot of songs together. A lot have done really well. A lot have been taken down just by our own choice. But he's really great. He's moving on though to a new genre of music. He's kind of been doing this. He just started doing a band with his friends, so we may never make a song again together unless it's on 101 Slugs. He knows this very well. He told me he's done with rapping. So I don't fully believe it, but that's what he said. So I just felt like I would cover this on this episode here. Maybe I'll have him as like a guest on here in the future. Definitely gonna have some guests at some point with my friends next year, and we're gonna give you our hot takes and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll definitely get him on, and I'll let him explain this a little better. But if you weren't following my Instagram, go ahead and check it out. It's king.calmzy. Very easy to remember. Always just check out my stories and my posts. I follow back, so I'll support you back. It's not like you're wasting time there if you're hearing this. Because I believe that everyone should just support each other in music and not just ignore someone who's following them and treat them as a fan, unless they really are. But for there, I dropped I made a little story post the other day, asking people for their music hot takes, and then posting those hot takes and asking people if they agree, sharing my own opinion. So I'll just share one of the hot takes that I saw in there. Someone said that artists should strictly make the music they want, and fans should stop crying if they're not getting that music from the artist that they want. Like if they want an artist to return to their old sound that they used to make but no longer do that, if that makes sense. And then I posted a little poll saying hey, how do you feel about this? Do you think artists should only make the music they want to make? Artists should only listen to the fans and create what they want? Or maybe if you hear a little bit of both sides, which is very reasonable, or if you have no opinion on this. And most people said artists should create the music they want, and I very much agree with that. That's where I would stand on that. Artists should create what they want, and listen to it or don't. That's where you should stand on it. And if you want the old music back, just listen to the old music. Like, who the fuck cares? Or listen to someone who creates that same style now. Don't waste time on trying to get the artist to make that old sound. I think that you should try to find a new artist still making that genre and support them and find out what they're doing, because they're filling what the needs you want, and you want that music. So why don't you just support someone new who's making it and support their journey moving forward? But people actually said artists should do what the fans want more than they could see it both ways. So people stand very on either side of this, not in between, which I can see some point. I don't know, if you're in it just strictly for the money, maybe do that, but it's not where I stand on it. I'll share one more hot take from the post though that I made. Someone said that writing is always better than freestyling and artists should only write. Well, they didn't really say that, but that was kind of implied in the way I took it. And I agree. I think writing is much better than freestyling. It's more coherent, and it just makes a song more meaningful. But me, myself, I'll freestyle to find my flow and energy before I actually write something out using that structure. So I can see it both sides. But if I had to stand on one side only, I'm going to stand on writing. But it's definitely, a lot of people come in and only write, and it doesn't sound like it sounds super monotone, or it just sounds like they're talking. So you definitely need to use both sides of that. But just if I were to pick one side where I stand, that's where I would be. And I'll kind of move on to my next thing, which is probably going to be my last thing for today, which is mutual following. See, I follow artists all the time, have low amounts of followers, not big enough to even have real fans, and they don't follow me back. Are you trying to act bougie or something? I don't know, but they don't ever follow me back. They just kind of treat me like some kind of fan or something. I'm following you and I'm commenting on your stuff. I'm not trying to act like a fan. I'm trying to act like I'm trying to get mutual support here. We got to connect and make some kind of a web. But they just want to be some superstar right off the gate. No one gives a fuck. I'm sorry. No one thinks you're some kind of superstar being on stages and stuff like that. Just give the follow back if they're a music artist or something. That's where I really stand on this, whether it's right or wrong in your eyes. I feel like you should probably be mutually supporting other guys who fuck with you, or else you're going to lose that. Me personally, I check. I'm going to unfollow you if you never follow me back or you unfollow me. I'm not sitting in here to be your fan. And that's where I stand on that. Like, we're not doing this game of where I just watch your stuff and then you don't give anything in return. And I think it's just ridiculous that people don't see it that same way. But yeah, that's where I stand on it. There are some people I'll follow just because I am a legitimate fan and they're actually bigger. But yeah, I'm not wasting my time on people like that. And moving on to the next thing, like, if you have something like CEO or entrepreneur in your Instagram account, and then I look and it says like you're the CEO of this Instagram page, just because you run an Instagram page doesn't make you a CEO. You're not some big shot. You're not making money off of it. Just sit down and take that out of your bio, please. You're not an entrepreneur. You're just some guy who runs a social media account. You're no different than an influencer, which I think is a great like lead way to my next point, which is music has definitely changed. Now you kind of have to be an influencer more than a music artist. You can't just make music and people will just listen to it. You have to make content, like whether it be dancing, asking people questions, finding something original. You have to do the most just for people to see you and actually like you, which I think is a little bit ridiculous, but it makes more people get out of the gate. So that's where we're at now. Everyone's an influencer over artists, so that's how I feel about it. I'm not really with it, but if that's what you are, a content creator, that's where you are, and you're going to be great with it. But me personally, I'm not really a content creator. I'm just going to be making this stuff and posting it. Hopefully you listen. I don't care if you don't. It's mainly for me, so that's what it is. I just don't fuck with being a content creator, and it's not going to be me. But I definitely do want to make like some kind of a music video someday. I think it'd be really cool and a new form of art that I've never done. Maybe get some help on that. I don't know. But I definitely want to incorporate some ideas there and figure out what I'm doing there. But I feel like that'd be pretty cool. But I actually have a few problems with Spotify right now. They changed their payment policy for smaller artists and artists just in general. So now I go from getting paid like a decent amount down to like maybe like $1 or $2 a month. Like, stop trying to rip people off. Like, you have enough listeners to where you could be paying like 4 times what you were and you'd still be making insane amounts of profit. It's just kind of ridiculous and kind of like extortion almost. But no one can make it without Spotify, so it's kind of a double-edged sword there. I just hate it, and I feel like there's some things that DistroKid on their own, that's what I use for distributor, could be doing to make some of these changes easier. I have problems with Apple Music because they don't let you change your artist name if you try to change it. They won't let you do it. I've done it before. I had to email like 4 different people. It took like 6 months to actually carry through. I don't feel like doing that again, so if you're looking for an Apple Music, it's just going to be Calmzy. No, Calmzy. Unfortunately, I'm sorry about that, but Apple Music's just being an asshole about it, so I'm not going to even bother trying to work with them. But I'm sure if I was bigger, they'd instantly change it, so who cares? Maybe that's some incentive for myself moving forward. But I'm waiting to claim my Spotify account. For some reason, their shit doesn't even work for artists to claim their account. Like, I've tried with so many things. The Instagram, you can't even connect it, so I don't even know what's wrong with their shit. If you're hearing this and you work or know someone who works for Spotify, that you bring this up to their attention. Like, if you're trying to claim an artist account, maybe make it easier to do that, because like I have several accounts that I have on there and they won't even let me claim them. So I'm a little worried about my main under my new name change. For some reason, when you change your name, it makes a whole new Spotify profile instead of just keeping the same one. I don't know why. I've seen their API. It's in Python. Like, what the fuck? You can't just do a simple put command instead of post. Like, I don't mean to get technical, but that shit's easy. Like, why are you doing the most by creating another account, creating more data? It doesn't make sense. It's going to kill you in the long run. But if you guys don't know, Spotify's posted their whole API, which is their code, if you're not super technical. So anyone can go and take the API and make their own music platform, I guess. As long as you adjust it, you probably won't get pushed for copyright, or you just want to make like your own thing and make Spotify a little bit better and just have it locally for yourself. You can just go ahead and do that. Like, they're not going to stop you. You're not posting anywhere making money. It's just for you. yeah, but that's all I really have. And I think I'll wrap it up there. So with that, I'd say stay on the lookout for a new album. Listen to my new song Blaze. Follow me on Instagram, king.calmz. And that's it. Peace out.